is going on, MMA fans? Circle of Debate with my co-host, the Championship on the Line podcast, Richard and Alex Mares, the Mares of Pain. We are going to talk about the UFC 64 recap. See who gets to defend or be newly crowned the champ of Tapology. I'm excited for that one. This event was polarizing. It's something that loved or hated everything that happened. You can't have mixed feelings about it, I think. There's a lot of awesome shit that happened, a lot of less than awesome shit that happened. But it's definitely one for the history books. Definitely a lot of weird things happened and a lot of great things at the same time. The future of MMA is definitely still a fucking giant cloud of questions.
Oh yeah.
I don't think anything got settled besides a couple of the undercard fights. So yeah, I have the Tapology results for Alex, Richard, and myself. I am going to pick. Let's just do Alex first. Let's see what a former champ,
two-time Chris.
I understand that.
You also lost it twice.
You are the.
Oh wait, I forgot. Did you win one? Oh wait, you haven't.
I've won it. Have I won it twice or have I defended it twice? I think I defended it twice.
Defended it twice, yeah.
Do I have the most defenses but only one win? Something like that.
Yeah.
I might be tied to it. I'm kind of like the Stipe Miocic. and you're more like the DC for sure.
Yeah, or like the Forrest Griffin, pretty much.
Oh god, damn, worst title reign of all time. One fucking fight, man. He ran into a tank of Rashad Evans. Cool. So I'm gonna bring up I said Alex's. So let's see if I can pull this out as easily as I think. There we go. I don't have all the graphics set up, time restraints, and OBS is just not something I can speed through. What the fuck is this? Why is there a picture of? Did you put Chuck Norris on your profile picture, or did Tapology do that? Chuck Norris just randomly showed up in your Tapology results.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't put that.
That's weird. I'll show it to you off air. There we go. Cool beans. All right, cool, man. So, Alex, you had Sean O'Malley versus Chris Moutinho. You picked Sean O'Malley by TKO in round 2. Yeah. You had the fighter right. You had the decision or the fight end result correct, but you had the round wrong. Do you think that stoppage was late, early, just in time?
I mean, when Rich and I were watching this fight, we're like, you let him take a beating for almost up to 3 rounds, and now you decide to stop it when there's like 30 seconds left.
Like 27 seconds, dude.
Or 20 seconds left. Might as well just let him finish.
Yeah.
He was still showing. I mean, tough guy. Chris is very, very tough. Very, very tough. Only bad thing is just there was no, again, it was short notice. He didn't have a full camp. But, one thing, Rich and I were just like, man, move your head. Just move your head for once in his throw. He kept just stalking him and he kept putting the pressure, but he didn't throw anything. And he was taking shots from Sean, and Sean he was like a walking speed bag. And pretty much. And Sean did what he had to do. And again, stoppage was all right, I guess. I just wish he would just let him finish. At least give him that. Let him finish the 3-round fight.
Yeah, I feel very similar to that, and I'll get to that when I'm up. Irene Aldana versus Yana Kunitskaya. You had Yana by decision. It was a first round KO, essentially.
Yep, TKO first round.
Yeah, it was something that we were kind of debating. We're like, it was going to be a kind of a toss-up. We didn't know who to pick. Someone was picked Irene, someone was picked Diana. But man, it was not close at all. Irene finished her in the first round. I feel like she needed a performance like this because especially how she looked against Holly Holm. She took a long break, and then she came back and she beat her in the first round. She looked great in this fight. So hopefully this is something to get the ball rolling. Hopefully she gets a few wins and hopefully get a shot at the title, or maybe a rematch against Holly Holm.
That 4.5-pound weight cut, man, she just couldn't make it. I think that's going to be a speed bump in her progression. I watched the post fight, and when Dana was handing out bonuses, he listed her name, and then some cock block in the press ring. It was like, oh, she gets the bonus even though she missed weight, and Dana's like, I didn't know she missed weight, so we'll have to talk about that. Which is like, fuck, bro, you just literally potentially took 75K away from someone who I think earned it. So a title shot right away, not right away, but like, next would be nice, but technically she wasn't at the weight, so the Holly rematch makes some sense, but I don't know what they have planned for Holly.
Yeah.
And then obviously Misha Tate's back, so there could be a rematch between that. That could be something, or even whoever Misha Tate. I mean, I think Marion Renault is retiring after this, so that 35 is still just a big puzzle. I mean, we know we have Nunes versus Pena. It's still, there's Lauren Murphy that's in the mix. It's just like this circle of just like who wants to be number 2, and it's not even close to number 1. So we'll see what happens, especially with Irina Donna, who looks fantastic, obviously.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's do it. Tai Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy. You had Tai Tuivasa by round 3 with a KO. That shit came quick, and it came in about 22 seconds or something like that, 1:07. Has any of Ty's fights? Oh man, a lot of his fights actually. His UFC middle career, like 4 fights back, about 3 fights, all went past the first round. Most of them were losses, but he's back on that less than 1 round KO streak. And will you be doing a shoey with Mr. Tuivasa anytime soon?
No, no.
Bro, did you see the guy who dumped the Poirier hot sauce in it?
Oh,
yes.
I know.
When he was at gorilla position, right before he went into the backstage, someone dumped the beer and then they dumped the hot sauce, and I'm like, that's gonna be bad. So I don't think he was paying.
Yeah.
He was like, and someone dumped the hot sauce in, and then you can see him react to it. I'm like, that's fucking rethink your life, bro. But the fight itself, as long as it lasted, talk about it.
Yeah, like I was saying, with Greg, he does have that 1 punch knockout power. But I just thought Ty was more experienced. I just knew he was a more experienced striker than Greg was. And I just knew that he was going to catch him. I picked the 3rd round, but man, he caught him really quick in the 1st round. I mean, because at one point, Ty was like a big prospect coming up. He had wins over, he beat Rashad Couture, and then he ended up beating Andre Arlovski. He was 3-0 in the UFC, but then he took a couple of losses. And, and it's not like he lost to little name guys. He lost to guys like Dos Santos, Ivanov, Spivak, so really top heavyweights. But now with this win, it's 3 in a row now for him. 3 wins in a row. So it's going to be really exciting to see what he does. But he looked good. Again, I just think he was more experienced striker than Greg Hardy. And yeah, he got him quick and got him early in the 1st round. And then for Greg, what happens for Greg next? What's next for Hardy? I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe he goes.
I don't think anything bad as far as like. I don't think it'll be like first fight of the night on the undercard anytime soon. I think it'll be hovering around main events on the prelims or main cards on ESPN for the next 2 or 3 fights for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree with that.
Cool. And we're on to the co-main event of the night. Thompson by decision. Motherfucker. Styles make fights, man. And this is exactly how a style versus style can go. And we saw both performers doing the best in their respective best positions. And it just happened to go the way of Burns.
Yeah, fortunately, last episode was saying that, again, Rich and I come from like a karate background, so we look up guys like Wonder Boy and you kind of want him to win. But Burns looked good. I mean, I was surprised that Burns was able to get the takedown. That's when he kind of caught my eye. He got the takedowns a few times, and he looked good. He stayed on top. But unfortunately, that's pretty much all he did. He just took him down and really didn't do any damage. He just stood on top. Again, I know he wants a rematch with Usman. Sorry, but that performance is not going to get you a title shot.
Well, Usman's
sadly, it just.
Like, I think the Covington rematch with Usman is like as good as signed, in my opinion. From what I'm hearing from Dana talking about, like that shit's just waiting to be, the flyers just waiting to get printed.
Yeah, because I know Burns wanted, after this one, he says he wants to get a rematch with Usman, but it just wasn't, like I said, when you're fighting, you're the co-main event, you got to put on a great performance and a dominating performance. He just didn't do that. He just took Thompson down. He really didn't do, anything was, big or anything. He just took him down. Wonder Boy did,
But
at one point.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's hard to do that versus a Stephen Thompson.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, like, he was kicking himself, even apologizing afterwards, saying I had to do what I had to do to get the win. I think it was still a pretty good win, a solid win.
Yeah,
solid
the
win.
Dana White line is thinking. If you went back and watched the heavyweights with, the season that Roy Nelson had won, he had when Roy Nelson won his first 1 or 2 matches in that in the house, he had won by crucifix with elbows, basically a lay style. And Dana White had this speech that I just completely disagree with, even though I'm not a billionaire running the company, that he doesn't care if you get the win. You have to be a world beater in there to do it. And I'm just like, my line of thinking is, he got the win. So with something like Gilbert Burns, he got the win. He obviously is not making any highlight reels with it, but I think that win is made more important than with the style points, I guess, because in a game where you're good as your last fight, and if that loss, if he had gone out there and tried to like show up and show off by standing with it, he tried to stand with Usman, we saw what happened. If he tried to do that with Thompson, who had some flashes in the pan, a wheel kick that Burns said he fucked up his neck, he would have lost. So I think the win to me matters right now in the game that's just inches and centimeters.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He did what he had to do, and it was a good win.
And I'm not mad at that at all.
No, but thinking how Dana is.
He didn't get on ESPN Web Jam, so I'm not going to give him the title shot. I think that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Because you got guys like Kobe with not great dominating wins who talks and gets the title shot. So it's like, it's just a weird balance of how they choose.
And also, with the legal shots, that didn't really help his case either. Him punching behind the head at the end of the fight. So that really doesn't help his case either. But, he did what he had to do. He got the win, took him down, and, fought a smart fight.
And Thompson's ground defense, it wasn't that. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't that great. Maybe with Burns' takedowns in top position and holding him there was so great that however good Thompson was just looked not great.
Yeah.
But he really, there was like, in a 15-minute fight, like 4.5 minutes of top control. Thompson couldn't wall walk. He barely got up more than once and usually had to fight the round out. So that's, I'm going to say how good Burns is, not how bad Thompson is, for sure.
And Burns is a high-level jiu-jitsu practitioner also, so.
Burns is high-level, championship level. And then obviously Thompson has a pretty solid ground background with his literal brother-in-law and family and Weidman camp for sure. So he has the credentials to get up. Just Burns is just so goddamn good. All right, man. We got one left for you. Fucking hell. Conor McGregor TKO round 2.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought he was gonna win. I thought he was gonna, play a different game plan on this one. He started off good. He was throwing leg kicks. He was catching a couple punches here and there. Did go for the guillotine, which I didn't think was a smart decision. And then unfortunately, the end, bad things happen, and the main question is what's next? What happens next? Is there a rematch or this? Dana White did say that Poirier is going to fight, Oliveira.
By the end of the year too, which is fantastic. I love that.
But which Rich and I were talking about, is so smart because it's kind of like it's like a money grab, because what's going to happen is if Poirier wins and beats Oliveira, and McGregor gets healthy,
Conor's not getting an immediate title shot. No,
they might give it to him though.
Off of 2 losses, no, they're gonna. I'll talk about it in a second. But
if they put the title, especially if the title's on the line, Chris, there's gonna be butts on those seats.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying the money. I'm not denying the money fight would be there.
You don't think Dana's gonna come on? That's Dana's boy.
He would do that and skip.
Yeah,
like it would be wrong, but he will do it.
Yeah,
it's like you know it's wrong.
I fucking hate that's probably what they're doing. Don't like it.
But yeah, unfortunately it happened. I just don't like when people say like, oh, he's done, he should give it up. You can't say that when he when the ending was like that. If he got TKO'd or knocked out, okay, I get that. But he got hurt. He got injured.
Damage done. I do believe that the kicks did affect that damage to the leg. I think the leg was compromised from the kicks that led.
But I don't think he checked it, though. I don't think Poirier checked it.
It doesn't matter. Conor was landing them pretty well, pretty hard. He was throwing them pretty fucking hard.
He was really hard, yeah.
So, I mean, you can compromise the leg on a not check because you're still hitting bone to bone.
Yeah.
And and Poirier was planting the leg. He may not have been checking it, but I mean, the leg was stationary. So he's kicking a bamboo tree at that point. And it's not a coincidence that it's the same leg he was throwing so hard. Because I know that Conor had a little bit of fuck your leg kicks from the last fight.
Yeah.
I didn't prepare for the leg kicks. Now you're not going to prepare for mine, even though Dustin said that he had, because he was like, how funny would it be if he came out with my game plan? As they kind of in the back of their head had that defense ready. But it can't be a coincidence that the hardest kicks he threw led to the leg breaking so brittly like that. So it seems more scientific than bad luck to me. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, and it's crazy because he's in the floor talking to Joe Rogan. He's pretty much promoting the next fight. So
yeah, that's fine. Of course he is. Of course he wants that one back. Yeah, no class from Conor at the end of that. Fucking hell, man. He really went down below on a lot of that shit, but I don't want to get into that because it was so dark and I'm just like that. Yeah, like I don't want to repeat anything that he had said. You guys can Google it. And fans at home, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I have your score in the lead with 480 points, coming out hot with that one. You had 7 of 12 correct. 7 of 12, 4 were perfect. That's not bad. You should start gambling, probably. All right, let me head over to Richards. Oh, by the way, Ivan had 6 of 12, 365 points. So you're currently in first place.
Did Rage do it or no?
No, he still, I think, hasn't figured it out, or I could teach him. I don't think he didn't even know Tapology. He thought Tapology was just for betting. I don't think he knew about the prediction site.
Oh, okay.
Which is all good. I can show him the ropes if I need to. Richard. Cool, man. First fight of the night, you had O'Malley by TKO in round 1. Dude, it could have been a buzzer beater with that right straight that he landed. I thought it was over then. I thought he wasn't going to answer the bell or the ref was going to stop it between rounds, which would have been a better stoppage than the one 12 minutes later. Holy shit. Or like 8 minutes later, whatever it was.
I mean,
yeah, that stoppage, the fight itself.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah, because they should have, by the second round, they should have, really started looking at his face that was pretty much falling apart. And like Alex is saying, yeah, it's cool, all the heart, but let's stop, that's great. He has heart and all, but let's worry about his brain because he doesn't need that much trauma. He was just taking a punishment and he couldn't really answer it. And, it's good that I come from a different, the way I was trained. Like if I had, Alex and I have met a lot of coaches and a lot of trainers from, high school to now adult. And I've had coaches like, oh, as long as you have, good cardio and, you're in shape, that's the key thing for any kind of, competition. But I always said, yeah, but I think that's great if I'm in great shape, but it doesn't matter if I'm getting my ass kicked for 15 minutes or 5 minutes or it is. And that's what Chris had. Chris, he had the heart, he was going to come forward and he wasn't getting tired, but none of that matters if you can't throw any offense.
Yeah,
and he wasn't throwing any offense.
This is a fight before your time, but when Michael Bisping won the Ultimate Fighter season 3, I believe it was.
Oh, yeah.
Versus Josh Haynes in the finals. It was a very similar fight, but much more damage because Josh Haynes at the time was already a veteran, so he was all pieced up and easily bleeding a lot quicker. And they kept going on about toughness. Josh Haynes, God, he's so tough. And then one of the commentators, probably Rogan, I'd assume, because I think it was only him and Goldberg at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, well, yeah, toughness is great, but not getting hits even better.
Exactly.
And that applied to Moutinho for sure, who.
Yeah.
Sean definitely set a record for most strikes and significant strikes landed within a 3-round fight.
It was I don't even think he was throwing body punches at one point. He was just going for the head.
He threw some
Constantly.
jabs to the gut, but I think that was just to change levels on going to the head.
Just to level, yeah, and set up some stuff. But it was, I mean, like Rogan was saying, he was a green-haired zombie at one point.
Right.
You know, and that's what he was. I mean, Sean, I think in the second round, it looks like he was looking at the clock and he was trying to time like a perfect walkout KO. I think it was like 4 seconds.
You think that's what that was? You think he wasn't just like, why am I still here? I'm getting tired.
No, but I think he was trying to, but he couldn't. I think
right.
I remember the second. I think the first or second round looks like he was going for the finish with like 5 seconds left.
Right when he started throwing
the clock.
I'm like, so I looked.
He started throwing the spin wheel kicks, trying to get that highlight reel. Which is totally
he was
awesome.
Trying, and but I don't think he could do it. I don't think he was going to be able to. Chris is, I don't know. He has a cinder block head. You know, he was to take the punishment, but like I was saying, with 30 seconds left, you might as well let him finish the fight and go on the show.
Especially because he wasn't wobbled then, and you know, he was doing his best to move around, but there was no signs of him like stumbling or snake leg or anything at that point. I mean, like I said, the stoppage coming out of the first round when he got dropped made more sense. And so just I don't know. It is what it is. Even a lot of people disagree with Ravine. Definitely DC did. With that, I think Moutinho definitely is going to come back a huge fan favorite. Weird stat that I noticed is when I first followed Moutinho before the fight, he had 5,000 Instagram followers. And I've been watching it just because it's fucking marvelous. He now has 127,000. So
wow, that is crazy.
So they made a fan favorite off that loss for sure, whether or not it was finished or not. A lot of people agree that he is a tough motherfucker, and I can't wait to see what's next for him. I can't even fathom. I mean, like, give him like Tim Elliott or something. Give him some crazy.
Oh yeah, no, he should. I mean, I like it and all, but I don't know. For me, it becomes kind of cringy, and I feel kind of bad when like.
Even though I think Tim Elliott might be down at 125 now instead of 35, so we'll see.
Because the commentators are having fun, but they were kind of like a little bit laughing because it kind of becomes.
It was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous fight. He wasn't taking physical damage. Like, he was taking shots, but I didn't see physical damage show up until after the first round, maybe middle of the second round. I'm like, why is he not bleeding? I'm like, oh, now it's starting to well up. But
you see it's on the red and everything, and like Alex said, no head movement, no.
There was none. He was on the center line the whole fucking time, and I'm not even a striker, and I'm just.
What's telling him? Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Next fight, Yana Kunitskaya, Irina Aldana. You had also Kunitskaya by decision.
Yeah. I had Yana, and then I changed my mind because like I see this card right now, and I'm kicking myself because I bet on a parlay, and I had O'Malley, I had Irene because I changed it. I'm like, I think Irene might take it by decision, and I had Chavasa. Then I had Poirier winning, and I was like, why are you picking him? Like, I think he's gonna take it. I changed my mind on my parlay. But then I ended up picking Thompson, which ruined it for me. Well, I was close 4-5. But yeah, I think with Irene, Alex and I were talking about it. And if you're coming off a tough loss like that at home, you really have to come out impressive. Especially, you know, you're losing, you know, pretty much one of the best female, you know, champions of all time, Holly Holm. So at this point, where do you go in your career? You lost, you know, to a former champion. You have to come out guns up blazing. And versus Yana, who was a heavy favorite, she did it. She, you know, she hit it with an exclamation point. It looked bad about the weight and all, but we were saying earlier, it kind of sucks that, you know, they're taking her bread away by saying, you know, hey, she missed weight.
So, I don't know if Dana did actually take it away yet, but I know that he said he didn't know about the weight issue.
Yeah, that was kind of like, at this point, give it to her. I mean, they gave Dennis Hallman that bonus for not wearing that thong.
No, they didn't give Dennis Hallman the bonus for not wearing it.
Oh, they gave it to the guy.
They gave it to Brian Ebersol for get those blue shorts off my TV fast. Finish.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're giving bonuses like that. Might as well give it to Irene. But yeah, you know, great performance, and that's pretty much it. I mean, and now is another name to look out for. Now Murphy, I think she's getting the title shot now. So
35? Those are 35.
Yeah.
No, it's Pena. Pena's got it.
No, I thought they're announcing.
Flyers were made. The promo was up. It's in Texas. It's the Cyril Gahn versus Derek Lewis fight.
I think there's still. I could have swore I saw something today.
No, Rich.
Nope, there's a promo for it.
No?
Yeah.
It's on the flyer.
Okay, never mind. I thought she was gonna fight for a different weight.
I wouldn't be mad if Lauren Murphy got that title shot. But
Well, Lauren Murphy's fighting Shevchenko, right?
Yeah,
is that
that's
Murphy's
what I
fighting
was
Shevchenko.
watching.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That should
Yeah.
make sense. Yeah.
Valentina Shevchenko versus Murphy booked for flyweight title at UFC 266. That's
Okay.
what I was seeing. I was
Yeah,
like, she's
no
getting a
worries.
title shot.
Cool.
Yeah. So like,
That's
choose a
the
perfect example.
difference
You
for
could,
sure.
oh yeah, you can win a couple of fights and then get, a shot at the championship. So Irene, she's in a good pathway. So why not? 2 fights in, she could get, a
Yeah.
shot at the championship for sure.
Good camp, great fucking hands, some of the best
Yeah.
straight up boxing in the division. And I don't know how many times that she has previously missed weights. Okay, so there are no weight losses on her end. Her fight with Beth Correa missed weight. And then her fight with Vanessa Mello missed weight. And then 3 fights later, this is the first time Irene missed weight. And only by 4.5 pounds, but that's still, she's already like 5'9". She was taller than the cage. So, that's a big weight advantage, especially when 4 pounds is like 5% of your body weight, some significant percentage of your actual body weight. And then who knows how much you weighed fight night, which that's fair. That's why you weight cut. Or, fair or not, that's what you're allowed to do. Tai Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy. You had Tuivasa KO round 1.
Yeah.
That was a perfect finish and a perfect fight, and I don't think anybody was cheering for Greg Hardy, even if they picked him to win. I know I did for some reason, and I'm very embarrassed by that.
No, it was a chance. A lot of people thought Greg could win, and Tuivasa, I think everyone knew it was going to be a knockout. They both have heavy hands.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't going to be a grappling fest at all.
Goddamn, what if it was, man? What if it was like Derek Lewis
I always liked them
versus Ngannou, or Houston Alexander versus Kimbo?
I know, right?
Oh God, or Mark Hunt versus Ben Rothwell up in
God.
Colorado. Oh God, nightmares.
I'm
Nightmare
thinking
fight.
about that Alexander fight right now. Yeah.
Just
I watched
hands
it
on the
recently.
hips
I
like
rewatched
90% of the time.
Yeah. No,
I'm glad this
what
fight was
else
not
you can
that. This
say?
fight was as advertised, 1,000%.
Yeah, because he got
yeah.
rocked at one point and then boom, fires back with a knockout.
Immediately, he got rocked. What was it, 37 fight, 27-second fight? He got rocked and backed up against the fence and just ended it. Just Hardy was in a weird position, looked right, got hit with the left, didn't even see it coming. He was facing literally like 180 away from him, or like 50 degrees. It was fucking awkward. Like, just again, I'm not a striking coach. I love to hear coach's opinion on just bad foot placement and not in the correct position. He didn't see it coming and found out the hard way he wasn't fighting his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Too soon?
No, no, you're good. You're good. It's true. Tuivasa now is like my favorite fighter.
Yeah.
He's man enough to come out there with the Spice Girls "Wannabe" song.
Imagine losing to that guy. That's the best part.
That guy. Yeah, get a knockout, and then you're drinking alcohol from people's shoes.
At least 3 of them. There was one on top of the cage. I think there was one at the bottom of the cage, and there was one down at the
there was 3
auditorium. Yeah. And they all were wearing like
crazy.
Everyone I was with was like, "Oh man, those are like $900 shoes." I was like, "Oh yeah." I don't know what they were though. They were like,
they were.
Were they like Yeezys or some shit, or Jordan 6s? I think.
Jordans.
There were some Jordans, some Nikes, like really like high end ones.
Yeah.
But
man, I guess if you can sit that close to the ring, you can afford the shoes.
Yeah, some shoes. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
He's living his life. You say, if I tell someone, there was a fire, knocked out someone about a minute, and then after that came out to a Spice Girls song, and the same night was drinking,
hammered
beer out of people's shoes.
Yeah.
They'll look at me, hammered.
For real.
Yeah, like it is crazy. How he's turning it back. He was 3 losses in a row, and now he's doing this. I think he just needs to slowly climb up and get there, and he'll get his title shot one day. Why not?
Yeah, I don't think those were. This is a 3-fight winning streak, all KOs within the first round. So those 3 losses. If you look at who he got thrown in that heavyweight division to the wolves.
Yeah, he did.
Decision against Andrei Arlovsky, former champ, and then right to Junior Dos Santos, former champ. Blagojevich, he's not the mayor of Ohio. Blagoy Ivanov, and then Sergey Spivak. Like, these are big dudes and big names. So like, there's really no shame in those losses. And I don't think after that fight with Greg Hardy, people are going to reference them the way we are right now. I think they're going to reference the 3-fight KO or the 1 knockout of Greg Hardy. They're not going to be like coming off of 3 losses and 3 weeks. You know, like with Conor, he's like 3-6, or 3 out of his last 6 he's lost. I don't think they're going to be doing that for Tai Tuivasa. They're not going to be saying he's 3 out of his last 6. No, they're going to say he's on a 3-fight win streak, all KOs, for sure.
Exactly.
I genuinely think, much like Izzy, he's just going to skyrocket to superstardom.
He is.
People love him.
He's just such a fan favorite, you know.
Absolutely. Dude can party. Dude can party in the cage and outside the cage. And I think he's up at American Kickboxing Academy too. So I don't know if he moves there permanently or just goes there for camps. But if he's up at AKA, good things.
That's gonna help him big time.
Especially with the ground game, which, I mean, I know he got subbed. He has 1 loss. The crazy stat right here is those 3 losses in a row were each one a type of finish. So it was a KO, then a decision, and then a sub. Where all of his finishes are by KO, and he has 1 decision against Arlovsky, which is pretty crazy that he didn't finish Arlovsky, which, you know, a guy that hits as hard as Tai, and Arlovsky lasting 15 minutes with him was pretty wild. On to our co-main event. We had Thompson by decision.
Yeah, I mean, that one I just picked with, you know.
It's what we wanted. We wanted the story, for sure.
Because I just wanted to see him get one more shot. You know, those Woodley fights were, you know, tough, you know, and I wanted him to get the championship. And I was hoping, you know, with this win, he was pretty much kind of in line next, or really close to it at least. And it was like that classic battle of, you know, the ground fighter with the striker. And grappler versus striker, pretty much. And the grappler won. Gilbert Burns has nothing to be ashamed of, and nothing, you know, to put his head down. I think it's ridiculous where fans are calling him out, saying, "Oh, they're booing him at one point," you know, saying it was boring. Like, you go out there and fight Simon Thompson.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care what level you are.
If the ground game is boring, go watch golf.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how can you not appreciate it? You know, and Thompson, to his credit, is really great at, you know, for being a stand-up fighter, he's really great at stopping takedowns. I think Burns had a record, right, for the most takedowns. He had some kind of record versus Thompson, because no one has taken, I think, Thompson down
a record specifically against Thompson. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, versus
I'd have to go back and watch the
similar.
Matt Brown fight. Matt Brown had a very similar game plan when he gave Thompson his first loss, which was he just kind of fucked him. But that was a very early Thompson who was KOing people, and I don't think his sister had married Weidman yet, or the other way around. Cool beans. And main event. You had Conor, TKO, round 2, just copping off your brother's cheat sheet right there.
Yeah. Well, I just, you know, like I was telling you, I was joking last time.
Is it what you wanted? Like, did you want it to be Conor, or were you going with like your brain instead of your heart?
I was going.
You
that's what I
wanted
wanted. I
Conor to
wanted
win.
it. Yeah, I wanted Conor to win because it's
That's
more
so
of my
good.
heart. Because my brain, like when I was the fight night and I was sitting there, like watching, you know, before the main card started, I was like, you know what? I think Poirier's gonna take it. I don't think Connor's gonna win it. And I was right, you know, when I was watching it, but then the outcome, I didn't think it was gonna be like for all of us. I don't think that we thought that was gonna happen.
No one has ever predicted a fucking leg break.
No leg break or anything like that, you know.
I think the only time we've ever predicted anything not a traditional finish was the Diaz versus Edwards was going to end by cut, which seemed very realistic. But even still,
yeah, everyone was saying
that wasn't a freak injury leg break, you know.
I mean, like you said, it was tough, especially after the fight. Like, we're not going to get into comments, you know, talking about his wife and, you know, saying that he was going to, you know, murder him before the fight.
Straight up, bro. Like, first thing he said was like, "Oh, your wife's in my DMs." Like, yeah, he's just shooting fish in there. He's just throwing whatever he can, whatever vile, quick thing.
It was kind of, I mean, it was childish, you know. It's like when your big brother picks on you and you know his secrets, and you know you're just trying to like throw that.
I hate you. I wish you were never born.
Yeah, you're doing that. Like,
we'll have by the way, so 10 out of 10.
Yeah, you know, you broke mom's favorite dish. You know, like what? You know, like why do that?
He was just throwing whatever vile thing he thought could get a rise out of his dust, and it, you know, it did. Fair enough, because he went to a place that
it did. But you got to give credit, man. Poirier was very. I mean, I thought this fight he was gonna mental warfare was gonna affect him. Yeah, he did the walk.
That was my favorite.
Or it looks like at this point,
you can kiss my whole asshole was my favorite.
Yeah,
I want that.
Yeah. but it looks like it doesn't affect Dustin as much. I mean, now you're just lighting up the fight even more. Now he's even more angry. But you bring the anger with not that many emotions. He comes and he still does his job, and he's smart, and he knows now he has that where I could beat Connor, but he's not overconfident. He's not like this chip in his shoulder where like, oh, I'll beat him again. No, he's like, no, I will beat him again. But I'm gonna come to smart strategy, and I know the keys to beat Connor. And I think for the fourth one, I mean, like I said, I want Connor to win, but I mean, I won't be surprised if Poirier wins the fourth fight. I mean, this is a different Poirier. Like Alex said, I think that's what they're gonna do. He's gonna get the shot with Oliveira, and if he wins, they're gonna give him a shot, even though McGregor doesn't deserve it.
I kind of feel
they're gonna give it. They're gonna give it to him.
They're gonna do that. Fucking. They're not gonna do it in Ireland. They're not gonna do it in Ireland. For many reasons. One of them is he can't sell. You're not gonna make as much money in Ireland with that fight.
Well, Vegas is the place.
Yeah, but I think McGregor should fight Dos Anjos at this point. I mean, that fight should have happened years ago, and why not?
Red Tenty night.
I think that should happen, and we'll see where you go from there. Because imagine him going versus Dos Anjos and then he loses to him, But if he beats him and everyone thinks, hey, this guy's tailor made for Connor, it goes either way. But yeah, I mean, good way, for Poirier. Poirier should now focus on the championship and cement his legacy.
Yeah, that's what I think right there. All right, so let me see if I can find your score.
I love how everyone was saying they're not a doctor, but like telling them like how the break was. I'm like, just wait. Right. We'll know like an hour. We'll know in an hour what happened.
I know we knew right after at the press conference it was a tibia break, which is pretty bad.
They announced it right after that.
All right, brother. So you had 3 out of 12 correct with one.
Yeah. It was terrible. Dude, so bad. I told Alex.
You had a score of 215.
Jeez, even I beat you.
It was so bad because I think I picked Hall. I thought Hall was going to go for a submission. I think I picked I because I've always been a fan of Jessica I thought Nico Price. I picked some guys that,
Yeah, my undercard is fucking devastatingly accurate.
Yeah.
For sure.
I picked more from the heart. That Condit too. I'm a big Condit fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. My turn. Sick. Yeah, my undercard looks real good. My main card does not. Sean O'Malley, Chris Moutinho, TKO round 1. Not unrealistic. I was just going with my brain on that one for sure. I know Moutinho was coming off of 2 or 3 wins this year alone, so I knew he was in fight shape. It's not like he was sitting on his couch eating Cheetos waiting for a phone call. So yeah, and I almost got that right. I mean, that finish at the end, it was a buzzer beater for sure.
Yeah.
And he was walking back to his corner, on wobbly legs, and he recovered great. He just wasn't. Not only was he not moving his head, he was walking him down, trying to get him to circle off the cage, which he was doing the whole fight. And Sean was backpedaling while still throwing, but he wasn't throwing anything that would have been setting traps for. He wasn't throwing anything basically at all. It felt like. I don't know what the game plan was. Was he trying to tire him down, pull the Homer Dredger Tatum move? I just don't know if he was waiting. For the third
I love that reference.
Yeah, I don't know if he was waiting to tire him out in the third and then go for a kill. But tough is a compliment, but it's not a compliment to a skill set. So I do want to see what they do with Moutinho next. I know that Sean got the suspension, the medical suspension. That might have been like a broken hand thing. Where Chris, I think, is cleared within 30 days, which is pretty standard, especially with that much damage. But I think Sean has to wait 90 days, no contact, which, I mean, that can get moved or, deleted or whatever. Sean definitely moves up, and Moutinho definitely is a superstar at this point, right? Or at least a star. Yeah. People are probably more interested in his next fight than Sean's. Or people are still be like, oh, I can't wait to see Chris Moutinho fight again. And people are still, I can't wait to see Sean O'Malley lose. Which, it was good to see Sean have some respect at the end of the fight. I know I've seen clips of his podcast where he is anything but that. But for him to at least speak publicly on the mic and give at least the illusion of respect, if it wasn't genuine, was good to see for sure. And then immediately went to the after party. I don't think he hit the shower. I saw footage of him. I think he went right to the hotel pool in his fight gear and his gloves on. And his coach was like, you got to go to the doctor. He's like, no, I'm going to do some shots, smoke a blunt. Good for him.
The only thing I want to ask, I don't know if you noticed, I mean, like I think Rage was saying that, sitting out with a broken hand or whatever. But I think now we notice more a little bit where Chris threw some leg kicks, and that would probably be the only Achilles heel I can see with Sean O'Malley. Chris landed some leg kicks, and when he was landing them, Sean was switching stances constantly. Anytime he threw it, he would switch southpaw or orthodox.
That's also good defense. I mean, you don't want to take 2 or 3. Like, look at Paulo Costa, who kept taking one. He never checked and never switched stances versus Izzy, which was the detriment to the fight. Where with Sean, you don't know if those were really damaging or if he was really good at making sure they didn't become damaging. So that is obviously a game plan for sure, especially that low leg calf kick that Benson Henderson's been doing. So we'll see with a really great kicker that can actually get inside that range.
Yeah.
It was like just range alone, it was 2 different body types completely.
Oh yeah.
Rene Aldana versus Yana Kunitskaya. I had Aldana by decision. Very stoked to see that finish. I love that left hook out of nowhere. Great hands. Yana was definitely in the zone as far as motivation to win this fight. She was key-eyeing the whole time. She definitely had fire in her eyes and just walked into a counter left hook that dropped her so quick I didn't see what it was, or maybe like the angle of the shoulders and the camera. I was like, what the fuck was that? And just hammered fist in hell. Glorious finish. I'm not Team Yana by any stretch. And I've been a fan of Irene for a while. So where she goes next, it's up to whether or not that weight cut really did matter. I don't have the rankings up, but Holly makes the most sense if she's not already booked for anything. And then that winner gets a title shot. That seems, I don't really want to see Holly versus Nunes again. Goddamn. But, that's the fight game right there. She'll take it for sure. Greg Hardy versus Taitu Vasa. I don't know why I picked Greg Hardy by round 1. I just thought he always came out a little meaner and a little faster. He always came out a little more just angry. And that's what he did this fight. He rocked him and then just bad positioning, got caught. Didn't even get caught. He got smashed with that left out of fucking nowhere. And this was more of a brain decision than a heart decision because my heart wanted Tai, and that's what we got. And we have a superstar at heavyweight finally. Obviously Ngannou is a great fighter, but Captain Personality, he is not. Tai is just a personality. He's a fan favorite. I heard him. Yeah, he's a fan favorite. He can talk. He's hilarious. I listened to him on the Unfiltered podcast just before this fight. The guy's fun to just listen to. He's like very Derrick Lewis. In that whole, just like the dude's just a fucking walking meme, like in a good way. So I can't wait to see who is next. Maybe Biggie Boy, Drazinho Rosenstrike, maybe whoever.
That would be fun. Yeah,
and the winner of that might get. I don't know what they're doing with Ngannou, but the Derrick Lewis Cyril Gane fight, heavyweight division looks real good right now, especially because everybody up there are one-punch knockout artists. It's going to be just
that's true.
Co-main event, Thompson versus Burns. I also had Thompson by decision. That was a hard decision. I was hoping that his ground defense would work in reverse and he would be able to just point. I was thinking he was going to just point strike him, stay on the outside, stay away from the clinches, from the level changes, and just do point karate. And in the few moments that he was on the feet, he was attacking with the best of his arsenal for sure. A couple of body kicks. I know he tried to land a question mark kick like he knocked out Dan Stigen with. Landed at least 2 wheel kicks, and one of them definitely got a reaction out of Burns. I think it put him up against the fence. He was like, oh shit. But Burns was smart enough to weather those furies. And I think his timing with the takedowns was somewhere inside of 45 seconds to a minute at the end of every round. I know the third round, I think he felt more confident with the ground control and had him down for most of the round. It's a win. So, I don't know who's next for him. Vicente Luque would be great. Winner of that gets the title. Kobe and Usman. That's it. That's all you got to do right there.
I like that fight. Yeah.
Luque just does not get any credit. God damn. Dude has
he does.
some great wins.
Dark horse.
People forget who he's beaten. I know he lost to Thompson, but Luque's on his way up, dude. Finished Woodley. Fantastic job. Yeah, it's good stuff. Main event. This was actually a brain decision. This wasn't a heart decision. I had Conor round 1. And a lot of it was that Conor does finish fights within the first round. If it gets out of the first round, it's pretty much not going to happen for him, except for the Eddie Alvarez fight, which is the only fight I can think of besides the Max Holloway fight where he won outside of the first round. I feel like, at least in his UFC career,
Mhm.
I feel like that's absolutely 1000% correct. I don't even need to fact check that. So there's that factor. Then there's a factor where, like, in the first fight, Conor talked a lot of shit, got in Dustin's head. That worked against Dustin. He got the first round KO. The second fight, it was nice guy charity. Let's share our drinks. And he lost. And then this fight, he goes back to being a full prick. And I'm like, okay, that's definitely what his game plan is. He definitely realized that being nice got him the loss. So let me go back to being a dick. And I was like, okay, that might work. But obviously, this is a Dustin that's more mature. So I just had to pick somebody, and I picked Conor. I kind of didn't want to. I love the Dustin story for sure.
Yeah.
I really hate, and this is a testament to the Irish. There were so many either Irish people in that arena or so many just pro-Conor Americans mixed with pro-Conor Irish that Dustin was getting booed in his own country. And that is got to be heartbreaking. Got to be just not a good day. And yeah, you can kiss his whole asshole for sure. Legit win, legit celebration. Dustin can raise his hands on that one because I do think there's science behind the leg kicks and the leg kicks in the break.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if it wasn't the leg kicks, it's just a freak accident. That says a lot for how bad of condition Conor's in, I guess. If his leg could just do that by standing up.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I don't know. That's like 3 leg breaks in like the past like 5 years, some shit like that with like amongst fighters. It's starting to become a common occurrence and a coincidence that low leg calf kicks are occurring more, and then the leg breaks. I don't know if those are connected. It's just weird, man. It's just weird injury way to go out. I thought he got dropped, honestly. I thought there was like a right straight I didn't see because he felt like he got dropped and he shot back, like he got hit with something right down the chin. And the replay proved me wrong on that. But yeah, I think that was a legit win for Dustin. Doctor stoppage is a stoppage. So and then versus Oliveira, good fight. I don't even know who I'd pick in that fight because both of them are so fantastic right now in their career. I would like to see Conor come back and fight someone else in the top 5, depending on when he comes back and who's in the top 5 at welterweight or 55, because there's unfinished business with guys at 155. I would love to see the Gaethje fight, the Chandler fight. Obviously, up at 170, we got Dos Anjos. There's a Michael Chiesa fight who's, I think he's fighting, is it Beneil Dariush? Is that like a title elimination? Is that what's next? That's in Texas?
I think so.
Something like that, right? Like 170 is stacked right now too. So if Conor wants, there's the Nate rematch. Nick's coming back.
Yeah.
The Nate fight's still always been on the table. And then obviously the money would be immediate title shot after 2 losses to one guy, and that would sell the fuck out of every pay-per-view on the planet.
He's just gonna fight Jake Paul, okay?
Yeah, dude, I love that, dude. I never usually side with Jake Paul, but the necklace tweet was funny. But the reply tweet was, do you want me to break the leg off before I send it to you, Conor? Was masterful trolling. So I know Jake wants that fight with Conor. That's all he's doing. He wants that money for sure.
That's all,
It's not, there's no gray area with Jake. If he's trolling you, he wants the smoke. And the smoke leads to the 7-figure paycheck, which has worked ever since KSI. Did he fight KSI or was it his brother? Either one of them. Yeah.
I wanted to ask, do you feel that like it seems like Dana is like a disappointed father? Like you see him like in a press conference, kind of like, I don't know, like his demeanor, like it kind of disappointed in Conor. How he, I think he wanted Conor to win for sure.
Well, he can't sell Dustin like he can sell Conor. Dustin is not going to be, unfortunately, a buy-rate world beater.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny, like everyone was pointing that out, like you see him, like don't show it. I know, like you want that. Even I don't know if you noticed when before they even raise their hands, even now that clip's going around, where Poirier is turning and he's yelling at Dana to tell him something, and he just walks out of the cage before the decision even happens. He's just walking out completely.
Yeah. That's man. That's
just hard to watch, man. It's a shame.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
Spot,
It's
He
the only
worked his ass off to get there.
sport where they don't like you when you're winning.
Yeah.
As far as opportunities go. Obviously, I made the football comparison, so I don't need to do it all over again. But the Patriots, people hate the Patriots, but they keep winning. But that keep winning will get you to the Super Bowl. Where in MMA, you don't have to keep winning to get to a title shot. We're seeing it. It's a story as old as the sport itself. I could go down a list of fighters that get title shots off of losses. Dan Henderson got 2 of them. He lost to Rampage, then he lost to Anderson. Both were title shots. Granted, they were unification of the Pride belts in 2 different divisions. Frankie Edgar got 3 title shots off of losses.
Yeah.
Did
Sonnen come off a loss when he faced Jones?
Yeah, I think he did. Or no, he beat Shogun.
Shogun with the guillotine in Brazil.
Yeah, guillotine.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Wow. Okay.
So, I mean, there are sometimes like immediate rematches are fine. If you're fighting the same guy for a rematch, okay, I get it. Like Gray Maynard and Frankie Edgar, shit like that makes sense. But then Conor coming back for a 3rd fight or 4th fight essentially, but 2 losses in a row. And what happens if Dustin? Okay, so if Dustin loses to Oliveira, yes, that makes sense. But then obviously if he wins this title fight, it's just I see the dollars. I get it. I'm not saying I don't see it. What I see and what I like are 2 different things. And I want what is good for the sport. And as shitty as it is, Conor is a necessary evil. And it is what it is. Like just to quote the great Max Holloway, it is what it is. So yeah,
I think even Conor tweeted saying, right, like you need guys like me.
You said you need guys like me, which we know that. Just don't fucking threaten to send a hitman to people's bedrooms. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, dude. Like, I literally don't know how he doesn't have, like, after the bus throwing thing, like, I'm gonna speak as sensitively as possible on this, but he should have been deported and his visa revoked.
Yeah.
Like, not opinion wise, but legally, if that was a civilian from Ireland and not Conor, that's like a 10-year, you're not extradition. Like, you're not coming back like anytime soon. And you're definitely not getting into Canada. Granted, I don't think Conor's ever fought in Canada that I can think of. But yeah, like just laws and millions of dollars, like you're just fucking bedfellows and it sucks. But like to threaten somebody with violence and to do it like that and to have no one investigated, no criminal, it's only been a week or less. It's just savage, man, and not in a good way. It's just you just see Dana as, it's Conor being Conor. Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's just that's who he is. Oh, he's just being silly. Like, no, bro. Like, dude. Yeah. I'm kind of over it. Like, I want to like Conor. I was a huge fan. I even forgave the bus thing. I didn't forgive the bus thing. But I was like, all right, that's
when
fucking
he punched that old guy at the bar, or when he broke that fan's camera phone.
Yeah, the camera phone was fucked up. Or he threw the Monster energy drink in ADs and hit the fucking press guy or something like that.
Yeah, they hit. Yeah,
but
didn't he hit a kid or something like that? I know there was like a
there's something like that where they settled out of court, and then the funny story to that is that the Vegas entertainment division or whatever it is. They hit him with like his community service, and his community service was to do a pro Las Vegas PSA commercial.
Jeez.
And then Conor goes, I forget what he says, but he says something like, so if I don't do this commercial, I can't return to Vegas? And they're like, yeah. It's like, I made you guys like $12 billion last year. I'm not coming back. I'm like, whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're
Let's
right.
not be hasty now.
yeah. I was like, oh, you're right. This commercial, fuck the commercial. Just come back. Yeah. That was masterful. That was hilarious and clever. But clever and being a fucking sinister dick like he's been is just different. So,
like you said, anyone else it would have, faced some terrible consequences.
Yeah, there'd be a criminal investigation. There'd be fucking FBI agents at the airplane. Like, if I went into a Las Vegas arena and said, I'm going to kill that guy's wife, I'm in jail that second.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas Strong is only 2 years old. Like, it's just not the place to be making jokes like that. Like, there's no place to make jokes like that, especially in the public eye with microphones, a gigantic pay-per-view in a sellout arena. Just, I know that it's the heat of the moment. He's trying to get it right. He's trying to guarantee that Dustin gets that 4th fight. He's trying to guarantee that Dustin signs that contract.
Yeah.
I feel like Dustin would have signed it anyways, so fuck it.
Man,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's a big collective fuck from
Because
all.
you list all the things he did, it's like, man, what a terrible person. Like, I was thinking about all the things he did. Like, it's crazy, all the stuff he's doing, and he's getting away with it. Because, like you said, if one of us threw a dolly at a bus, you wouldn't see us for a while.
Full of contracted professional fighters, damaging 2 of them, and sending one to a therapist who was already in therapy.
Yeah.
You know, nothing that could be said. No one can get on here. No one can come on and say, like, well, he has a point. Connor, well, what he means is, no, you're just misunderstanding him. This is what actually, no, there's nobody in the world that I think can do that that has any class.
Everyone was, everyone on Twitter was, even John Jones is like, dude. Like,
the guy that hit a pregnant woman with a vehicle.
Yeah, he was like, come on, man, don't go out like that.
When Jones is like, wheel it back, bro. Right.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with you. Yeah, for
the
sure.
Only one I gave him like praise was like Rousey.
I don't even get the Rousey.
Rousey said some.
She said that the man is on the stretcher promoting the next fight. I would never have had the mindset to do that. We need guys like him. I'm like, Rhonda, when you lost, you were unconscious. You were promoting dick. So yeah, there's a difference between you and him. So yeah, that tweet was a little kiss.
I saw her. Yeah, it was. I saw. I don't know. He reposted that tweet on Instagram, MMA fighting, and I think Paul Felder commented and said "Ronda who" or something like that. Who is this?
Brutal. I mean,
or something like it was a. Yeah. Well, Felder did that. I'm like, ooh. Yeah. But I mean, it is what it is.
Give him Felder retired. I'm like, give Connor Felder. Luck of the Irish versus Irish Dragon.
Yeah, that'd be cool too. I mean, I would watch that for sure.
I would definitely watch that. I think Felder would get fucking pieced up. No offense, I love Felder, but I just think a little too slow for that left. Lucky left.
Yes.
Cool. Well, that was about as exciting as that card could get. I appreciate you guys coming on. I know we had to wait till Wednesday to get it done. I can't wait to talk about UFC 264. I mean 265. Goddamn. Here's a funny story for you guys. I was at UFC 264 and 274, and now we're already at the 264. Yeah, holy shit. This main card, Vicente Luque versus Michael Chiesa. Love that. That's got to be a title eliminator. Winner probably gets Usman or Covington. Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz. This is a 4-fight main card unless something gets moved. They could beat Tisha Torres, and this is a weird card. There's 5 fights on the ESPN prelims, or the early prelims. Only 3 on the ESPN free card, and then 4 on the main card. I think you put Tisha Torres and Angela Hill on the main card. I think you move up Ed Herman to the ESPN card, and then you just have 4, 4, and 5. That's how you do it.
That makes sense. Yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah. Sonya Dawn versus Casey Kenny. I love Casey Kenny. She was known for double fingering Felice Herrig in their fight. She straight up went up there and did one of these. One of my favorite pictures of all time. Can't wait to talk about that. I appreciate Championship on the Line podcast for showing up. I will see you guys the Monday before UFC 265. I don't know the exact date right now, but when we know, you will know. So I appreciate you guys joining.
Wait,
peace.
Who's the champ?
Oh, hey.
Hey, man, you almost blew it,
almost snuck you one. Let's see here.
You want to know,
had a
man?
Score 7 of 12, 1 perfect, I think. Score of 390 and new 3-time champion.
Boom!
3-time, baby. Alex Morales.
The most wins and losses.
You beat me by 90 points. My main card was terrible. My undercard was fantastic. I had almost everything right on the undercard and only 1 right on my main card.
I knew it, baby. I knew it.
Let's say
gold is back.
What is that? That's awesome.
It's back. It's back where it belongs, baby.
We still got 5 million more UFC events, so I'm going to be at 25 champ one of these days. Just you wait.
Yeah, even if you're watching, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But
I didn't get last place, which is pretty cool. But there is no second place. It's only the champion. That is Alex again. I had a good run. I enjoyed my 2 or 3 wins. I was riding
King
pretty
is
high
back on the throne.
It was close. It was definitely close.
Mhm.
I'm coming for that belt next time. I will see you guys soon. And I appreciate you guys watching.